April 1918, Eastern Front. You can see things changed a little bit. German High Command ordered a full withdrawal back to a shortened line. They're trying to form a line probably along this route right here. Use these lakes and stuff as part of the, there's a defensive, and then probably connect up right there. But not all the units can fall back far enough to get out. So the ones down here were able to fall back behind the river there. So by doing so, they have shortened their line, which used to go all along that route. Now they're shortening it farther, which means they can pull units out of the line and ship them elsewhere because, well, right now they're having problems down south. And as you can see, most of the German army is 4.63s and 4.64s. They do still have a few of the smaller stuff left over that haven't disappeared out of the army yet, or bigger stuff, I guess I should say, along here. Some of the bigger ones. That was the ones they were using for their big pushes, but they're still around. And then if you look over here, they did fall back. The Italians are able to go into Vienna, so now they have from the Adriatic up to Vienna. They control that area right through there. They have a nice solid line protecting the flanks, and then that means the Germans pulled out, and now we're going to probably form a line through here someplace, because Germany's soft underbelly is not too far away right here, so they got to do something to protect themselves, and that's what they did. Some of the units that they pulled out of the line ended up over here, and they're kind of form a line right through there. All right, and over here, some units that were rebuilt formed up over here, but as you can see, they do have some of their best troops now are forming a defensive line right there. They don't have enough to really do it, but they can start digging units in along here, and replacements can go protect the border again. And right here, these guys will be used to slow the advance down that's coming that direction. Eventually they'll probably have to pull out because they're going to get flanked really easy, but right now they're holding Paris pretty well just to stall the American forces out, and eventually who knows what's going to happen down here with these forces. They have basically almost two army groups parked down here in the south that, well, are kind of wasting away in a bit. But it will be, if they don't take any casualties in about 3-4 months, they'll be able to recoup all their losses and bring them back into the army up to full strength. Italians are getting close to being full strength. They're slowly creeping that direction, but no one's attacking them. If you don't get attacked, well, you're not going to lose anything. But the Italians are, well, let's just say, not much of a threat, because if you can only go so far out away from they can go, what, 7 out, so I guess it's like this, but this supply line right here, they can't reach. So the Italians pretty much can't do anything. They can come out through Albania, but you look at Albania, no rail lines. And this mountain, it's like even the Greeks and the Romanians could throw troops in here and just stop any advance cold, because let me tell you, attacking through the mountains is treacherous work when you're attacking at half strength, and takes a lot of movement to get in there. So that's really not much of a detriment to the Allies, nor is it a problem for the Italians either. So it's, here nor there. All right, so that's pretty much it. What happened for the Central Powers this turn? They've just fallen back to, see what they can do with everything. All right, we'll be back. All right, April 1918, Eastern Front, Allies. Well, the Russians moved their forces up here. They can't quite, because zone of control costs them an extra 2 points. but the weather's clear, but they still didn't have enough movement points to get into here. They were close enough that they caught the one unit right here. There was a 3-to-1 attack that happened there. There was a exchange and a half exchange. As you can see, there's one less army group here and so a little bit less there. So the Russians did take some casualties, taking out the German unit that was there. That was the only attack that happened on the entire Eastern Front. They're just moving up to catch up. But they did catch that unit and at least had one good attack. Now, in the central area, Central Front, the British did attack here. They had pretty much it was a 5-to-1 and a 5-to-1, two 5-to-1 attacks. And it was really skewed because they had tanks in the attack. So it was like +2 modifier and a +1 modifier in the other assault. But they did have to, one unit had to attack across the river, but the artillery was good enough to go across. But that was a 5-to-1. Yeah, I think the other one was 6-to-1. But they just mangled that unit right there. Took them out. So the Germans did lose a unit there. And that was it for the central. So Germans may be able to move troops in now and dig in and try to figure things out for themselves. Now over here, the Americans did take Paris. Paris is back in the hands of the Americans. So the French are very happy that their city is back, but it was a battle to take it. There was Germans took out, I think, was it 2 American Corps divisions? 3. There's 3 American divisions taken out in the process. So it was a bloody affair taking it from the Americans taking the Germans out of there, because they had to, all the attacks were across the river. The only thing that helped them was that they had artillery in the mix, which helped out, but the end result was there was some half exchanges and exchange, so it was a pretty costly affair. But the city has been liberated. Also, there was lots of aircraft that were involved in that conflict too. Okay, so that was it. There was 3 attacks, 1 on each front, and the Germans lost each one, but it's par for the course because there's very few good German units left, and right now the best German units are pretty much forming the backbone of that defensive perimeter right there. And there's a few stuck up here by Koenigsberg up there. You can see them. There's a couple good units right there, but otherwise everybody else is a 4-6. And it's going to be a hard slog for the Germans. Right now it's a defensive war for them. It's just the writing's on the wall. We'll just have to see what happens in the next few months. All right, hope you guys like this one. Talk to you later.